What's happening, YouTube? I'm just pulling up to the gun club here. If you saw my first video, I was working on a Marlin 25 and had ordered some rings for it that did not work out. They were just a little too low to the receiver. I was able to get new rings. Same company, that Warren. First time, like I said previously, first time with any experience with that company. So far so good. The rings seem to be, adequate for what I need. And when I contacted them about a return policy, a human being emailed me almost immediately. Felt like dealing with a small company. So I don't know how small they are, but that's what it felt like. We just pulled up here. We're gonna get set up and see if this thing will shoot. See ya. What's happening, guys? Got the gun here set up with the higher rings. Now have full clearance with the bolt, and I'm gonna send the first few rounds down range. I don't have the camera set up down there. I bore sighted it at home. I'm gonna see what it's like on paper, and then just for the sake of time, once I see that it's good, set a camera up and see if we can get some groups. Trying 2 different kinds of ammo today. CCI Mini Mag 40 grain. These are the segmented hollow points. Never shot them before, never tried them. Got them at a local gun shop. I don't know if they're new or if I've just never noticed them before, but I guess they're designed to break apart on impact. It says varmint on there. 40 grains. And then I got a box of subsonic Aguilas. I've had decent luck with these out of a different rifle. They're certainly quiet. They're 38 grains, going 10-25 per the box. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Absolutely beautiful day here. About 50, maybe 55 degrees. Very little wind. Perfect day. It's been really cold. So great day to get out and shoot. I either bore sighted improperly, or I don't know if you can see that, or I don't know. I was way up here my first 2 shots aiming at the center, brought it down. That was the next shot, and then these 2 followed after I made a slight adjustment. So now that I got it kind of where I want it, I'll pick out one of these smaller dots and see if I can get a group. This is at 50 yards. Like I said in the first video, I'm kind of hoping I can get this thing to shoot groups that are adequate to take squirrel hunting. And 50 yards, especially for a 0, is really all I need. I mean, not a whole lot of shooting going on in the woods much further than that with a little 22 at squirrels, especially the thicker stuff that I'm used to hunting in. So see how it goes. These are the CCIs. That's what I started out with. Kind of wanted to get them zeroed up and good, and then see where the subs are after that. I suspect they'll be a bit lower. We'll do a little action shooting here. Yeah, it's just maybe a ½ inch to the right, either me Yeah, they're touching. So I'm gonna go to the left. Three clicks. See what that does. May have pulled that one a little bit. The trigger is just terrible. Oh, I got one more. Let's go take a walk. I'm gonna set up my other camera so I can get some shots of the bullet impacts down at the target. Only because I know just from watching other guys on YouTube, it's a pretty popular thing to do. It's more engaging for the viewer, I guess, and I guess it would keep people from doubting your actual shooting, which I don't know why anyone would post videos and lie about what the gun's doing. I mean, but I get it. So the first two, like I said, were touching just a little bit to the right, moved it over, and then I got like a vertical string there. But I mean, I don't have anything on my pocket to gauge that, but I mean, I have a normal sized thumb covering those four. So it's pretty good. It's not terrible. I mean, for what it is, it's probably $100 rifle with a trigger I wouldn't give you 5 cents for. Might be able to get it a little better. I don't know. Maybe different ammo may shoot better. That'll come with time, I guess. Just trying different brands, but so far so good. At least it's not all over the place. The scope is brand new. Like I said in my first video, it's a Hawke 2-7. Very affordable scope. Very clear, but you do, like with most budget scopes, you do lose some field of view with just the that black ring inside. I don't even know what you would call that, but it's not like wall-to-wall field of view like you'd get with a little bit more expensive scope. I guess we'll try these subsonics and see where they're at. They might shoot way better. They're going to be lower, but maybe they'll group even better. My plan is with this gun, if I could find a style or brand of ammo that shoots best out of it, to get the muzzle threaded for a suppressor. If you've never shot 22 suppressed, you must. It's just so much fun. It's a little awkward in the woods, but just because it adds the extra length. I have a Banish 30 from Silencer Central. It can be adjusted from 9 down to 7 inches. You lose 2 baffles if you take that end off, but with a 22, I don't suspect there'll be much loss in sound suppression. Let's see how they sound on camera compared to those CCIs. Hilarious. Looks like about maybe not quite an inch low. Dead center though. That one's up a little bit higher than the first shot. Hard to say. This trigger is finicky. And not finicky, it's just so heavy. Looks like that one's touching the first. Looks like I got 3 all on top of each other. Just that one flyer so far. May not even have been a flyer. Could have very well been me. Let's go take a look. It's nice when no one's here. Just walk back and forth as much as I want. I'm sorry for the loud beeps, but that's gun club policy. Throw the flag up and turn the siren on when you're downrange. It's a good policy. Prevents any accidents, I guess, or at least should prevent accidents. I brought my 22 Magnum to shoot as well. I haven't shot it since last fall, and I just like to shoot. Every so often. It is something I will take out for groundhogs come summertime. Just want to make it's usually dead on, but so these are those Aguila subsonics. My second shot was up high. My final shot was down low. Those 3 were the middle. It's about not much different than the CCIs. I'll tell you what, you take this one out of the equation, and that's a squirrel gun right there. I'm not like jumping for joy impressed, but also I'm not disappointed. Shooting pretty good for what it is. It makes me wonder about some aftermarket trigger action going on there, or maybe even seeing if my gunsmith can like clean up the stock trigger just to make it a little bit more controllable, because it is so heavy. I would say it's probably over 10 pounds. I don't have a trigger pull gauge. It's probably something I should invest in, but just based off of other rifles I have, it seems like it's probably in that like 10 to 12 pound range. It's really heavy. I'm pretty happy. I mean, like I said, I'm not jumping up and down, but it's not terrible. I'm not even going to adjust that. I'm going to leave it where it is. And I have a target up. Well, I have 2 more targets up, 75 and 100 yards, that I planned on shooting. I planned on shooting the 22 Magnum at. But just for a laugh, I'd love to see where this thing's at. I'm going to go back to the mini mags for this, just for a little bit of speed. Box advertised velocity is 1235. Again, 40 grain hollow point segmented. They look, to me, no different than a normal CCI, but I guess there's something internally there that causes them to, or at least promotes them to, fragment or segment on impact. Which, for squirrels, I don't know how great that is. I mean, I try and shoot them in the head, so it doesn't really matter. But sometimes shoulder shots are required, and I like eating squirrels. You don't want to, they're already low on meat. You don't want to blow too much of it up. We'll see where it's at here at 100. I'm not going to be able to see with this 7 power, I don't think. But I'm going to aim dead center bull. I'm just going to run them, see where I'm at. We'll take a walk. I'll tell you what, the backstops for, or not the backstops, the backdrop, I guess you would say, to staple your targets up here at this club are just sheets of plywood. And there's just pieces, shards of plywood flying, even at 100. Every time with these. I don't know if it's because they're these segmented bullets or what. I believe that's it. Yep, that's one. All right. Let's see where we're at. I'm going to have to edit a bunch, which I'm still learning. Like I said, this is all very, very new to me. Not the shooting part, the filming myself and talking to you. I wouldn't say I'm technologically illiterate, but I'm not the greatest with computers and stuff like that. I've never edited or anything like that before. I've done a little bit on the first 2 videos I made. And it seems to be okay, but I'm using like a free program. I believe it was Adobe. I don't know how user-friendly it is compared to others. I don't know if there's any suggestions out there. I'm not opposed to paying for a software or editing material, but if I can make it work with the free one, might as well. So we're real low, to be expected, and basically a square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Groundhogs at 100? Sure, but as I said, I was aiming up here at center bull, so these are 1-inch squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in between like 5 and 6, almost 6.5 inches low on a 50-yard zero, which, you know, it's a 22 LR. They fall out of the sky. My main priority with this gun is, like I said, to be a squirrel shooter. I don't know if I've ever shot a squirrel 100 yards in my life. Most of it's pretty close. There was an old farmer, passed many years ago, but out by where our cabin is, and he loved shooting squirrels. He loved eating squirrels. He would zero in his 22 at 120 feet because it was the same distance as the highest tree he knew of in his area, which I believe was a tulip poplar. So, makes sense, I guess. That's your only purpose for that gun. I'm gonna give the old Marlin 25N a rest here and bust out the Magnum and do a little shooting with that. We'll see how that goes. What's up, guys? I'm back here with my Ruger M77/22 in 22 WMR, aka 22 Magnum. This gun, my dad bought this gun brand new. I want to say 99, maybe 2000. I know they don't make, I don't even know if they make this model anymore. If they do, I'm pretty sure this configuration with the real dark stainless finish and the laminated stock, I'm pretty sure that's been done for a while. They had a green one for a little while. I know maybe there was a Ellipses exclusive for the 17 Super Mag. They make this in a 17 also. At least they did. I'm not sure if they still do anymore. Old scope on it. Old Redfield. The old Redfield 5-star. 3-9. The scope's been on the gun for as long as I've known. And never bothered to take it off because it's always shot so well. I have another scope I'd love to put on this rifle. But it's one of those things where why mess with something that's proven. Also, anyone who knows Rugers knows these scope rings are specifically designed for their rifles, and they're not cheap. The other scope I have for this gun is a 30mm tube, not a 1-inch tube. So I'd have to buy rings for it, and I think they're like $100 for a set of them. A little crazy. Oh, and got the old Banish 30 out the end there. It makes it, you know, a little more quiet, I guess. It's not like shooting subs or anything. The 22 Mag barks, in my opinion, as far as rimfires go. And this brings it down. This brings it down to like a much more tolerable volume. I don't know how it'll sound on camera, but the ammo I'm shooting, I'd love to hear from you if you know, but it's this Federal, these 50 grain jacketed hollow points. Back in the day, there was a black and gold box of Federals. It was like their old color scheme and insignia and all that. I want to say that these are the same. It's just a different looking box. It's always been what this gun has favored. I have to assume that they're the same because it's always shot. It always shot those so well, and these it shoots well also. So I think they're the same. Maybe it just prefers Federal. I'm not sure. I also brought some 40 grain Aguila semi-jacketed soft points. They're going pretty good. 1875 according to the box. And then I found in my gun cabinet for $13.99 written in a Sharpie. So who knows how old these are. They're Maxi Mag CCIs plus V's, 2200 feet per second advertised. It's only a 30 grain bullet, so it's about 20 grains lighter than the Federals that this gun really likes. There's not many out of it, so I don't even remember shooting these and how they shot. I'm assuming that since there's only a few out of it, it didn't shoot that great. But just because I don't remember, I want to shoot those and we'll see what they do. So let's run this first and see where we're at. Well, I can already tell they're way low, which is like I said, why I like to shoot things frequently. I don't know why it would have changed so much unless I'm not recalling that I zeroed it for another distance. It's like apples and oranges after shooting that old Marlin. Hard to tell, but it seems like a decent group. One more. That was all me there. Hard to tell. Again, this is a 3-9, so out of the 100, it's a tad difficult to see. I'm wondering if I had this gun zeroed at 50, which would surprise me because I usually have it out for foxes and coyotes. I'm sorry, foxes and groundhogs. I do want to send a few at 50 just to see. I'm going to try these CCIs and see where they're at. I'm going to shoot 3 this time. Love the old Ruger rotary mags. I know they still use them for a lot of their weapons. This is one of those guns where, you know, I'm not completely attached to every weapon I own. I've sold guns in the past, traded guns in the past. But this is one that will never leave. It's always been such a good shooter. It's a little heavy for what it is, but it's always been such a good shooter. And the 22 Magnum, I'm a huge fan of. I think it's too often overlooked in the rimfire world. I understand the 17 will run circles around it velocity-wise, but I like a 50 grain bullet over a 20 or 17, whatever weight they have now. Well, that looks real good at 50. Again, those were the Maxi Mag HP Plus V's, 30 grainers. We'll go take a walk. See where we're at. Very curious to see what those Federals did at 100. At 50, I would expect nothing less out of that particular rifle. It's heavy. Not that 22 mag has recoil to begin with, but it's heavy, it's steady, it's firm. The trigger is more than adequate for a factory trigger that's over 25 years old and has shot I don't know how many rounds out of it. It's a nice rifle, but it usually likes heavier bullets, and this is very good. Those 3 30 grain CCI Maxi Mags I just shot at 50 again, but all 3 of them right there. That Magnum I've shot a lot of squirrels with, and as you can see, it's pretty effective. But if you don't hit him in the head with the 22 Magnum, especially a hollow point, it's over. I mean, like I said, I like eating them, and blowing up meat is just not, I'm not a fan of. So here was the 100-yard group with those Federal 50 grainers. Again, these are 1-inch squares, so those 3 are inside of 1 inch, and then had 2 kick out on me there. Could have been me, could have been a tad windy, but not super windy. It's not bad at 100 yards, but I'd like to see it a little bit tighter than that. We'll try those CCIs at that range and see how they go. I tried those off camera. I tried those Maxi Mag 30 grainers at 100. I got 2 touching here. The other 3 off to the side. Not so good at 100. I mean, not any better, if not maybe worse than the Federals. Then I tried those Aguila semi-jacketed soft points. They're 40 grainers. Again, gun shooting to the right with both of those. Had this one out here, and I don't know where my 5th is. Could be that. Not exactly sure. I think I can shoot a better group with the Federals than that, and that's probably why I tend to lean towards those at 100. But it's not terrible. Shooting groundhogs and foxes, it's not bad. Inside a squirrel range, it's absolutely deadly. I just packed up. I'm headed out now. I shot, I think I got a little bit of a clip at the end there walking out of the 100. I shot those CCIs and the Aguilas out of the 22 Magnum at 100, just to see how they performed, and it wasn't much better than the Federals at 100. It was about the same, maybe a tad worse. I didn't get any of that shooting on film. A guy like around my age and his young son started shooting at 22, and he saw that I was filming, and he asked very politely if there was any way I could keep his kid off camera, which, you know, I get. You don't know. He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know where that video is going, so I totally understand. It's part of going to a gun club, I guess, or a pub. I mean, this isn't public, but any kind of range where you're going to interact with other people. One of the things I'm going to have to, I guess, navigate with this channel, there is a possibility that I could shoot at my house, especially rim fires for sure. So maybe in the future I'll do that in the privacy of my own property. But the guy was super nice, and you know, I'm not going to argue with somebody who says they don't want their kid on camera. I didn't really have a way to film that kept him off, out of frame, I guess to say, because the where they set up, and I'm left-handed, the camera was over that way. Either way, it's all good. But like I said, in the future, I'm gonna have a camera set up on target just for a little bit more, I guess, entertainment factor. I'm not really concerned with people if they don't think the groups I'm shooting are real. That's just absurd to me. I have no reason to lie. I mean, you could see earlier, you know, as I'm walking out to the targets to check them, you know, the distances I'm walking, the groups I'm shooting aren't, you know, it's not like I'm some Olympic shooter or something. I don't have anything to hide. I'm average Joe, just like everybody else. So just driving back now, I'm very fortunate. My house is only about 3 miles from the gun club, so I can kind of just get out, you know, and free opportunities and not have to, you know, packing up and carrying the stuff to and from the truck takes more time than it does to drive back and forth. So very lucky in that regard. But I'm gonna get home and go over the footage, and like I said, see what I can do with editing and start putting this up. And I want to start rolling videos out on a regular basis, and see where it takes me. I'm interested to see how they're received and hear from anyone who watches them. Like I said, this is all new, and I'm gonna do my best to provide a page that showcases not only firearms but family, and what we do together in the outdoors, for sure. I got a bunch. I'm really excited in the next couple months because there's a bunch of really fun things coming up. We got in Pennsylvania here, we got the trout season opener coming up in April, first weekend of April. the youth season's the weekend before. I'll have my son out for sure that weekend. I don't know if I'll film or not, but I'll definitely film the standard season opener, general opener, I should say. And I mentioned in my woods walk, excuse me, in my woods walk the other day, my family does a lot with butchering and the making of various meats, and our so-called Scrapple Fest is coming up here towards the end of March, so that's going to be fun to film for the first time. I've never filmed it before. And then I know I'm really looking ahead, but it'll be here before we know it. One of my favorite times of the year, when spring gobbler starts. I want to say it's May 3rd this year. So really excited to keep this going and build this channel to what I believe it can be. I know that the market's very crowded, and that's okay, because everyone does things differently. Everyone provides different content with their own flair, their own style to it. And I enjoy a lot of those different channels. I don't know how flashy and flary I'll be. Flary, I don't know if that's a word, but I'm going to be as authentic and original as far as I am as a person as I can be. So I hope that reaches you, and I hope you enjoy it. Take care.